And here we go. There we are. Well, this is going to be a very special episode of NieR Replicant version uh 1.22474487139 ellipses. Let me. Of course, once again, thank you for joining us here today. I am Levatome, and together we are going to dive back into what I believe is going to be the final chapter of this run through of Stage 1 NieR Replicant. I believe we're going to get a lot of answers as to what the blazes is actually going on. And if not, then the next one, which will be, if it's anything like Automata, there's going to be a lot more answers in playthrough 2. If not 3. 3 may in fact give us the most amount of information. I'm not sure how this is going to play out. I'm just reverse engineering, since Automata is the sequel to Replicant. I'm not sure what was brand new for that would come from this. Exactly? Not entirely sure. Gonna find out. And huzzah! I did a lot of grinding. Not for levels, because at this point, level doesn't really matter. But for materials, for upgrades. And I did as much as I could to get us caught up with... Oh, no, that's still muted. There we go. I got us as caught up as I possibly could for weapon upgrades, side quests getting done. We're not getting Life in the Sands done, as that's going to take upwards of 24 to 48 hours of guarding simulator, because it takes real time passing by to do that. So I'm not doing that. I'm not going to get the 100% perfect ending, but I'm not doing 2 days worth of farming. Not even 2 days, like in my usual more conservative hours of like 4 to 6 getting stuff done. I'm not doing 48 hours worth of gardening. So aside from that, I did hang on to this before turning it in, as it actually did something really interesting. And before actually stepping into what it is, I reloaded the last save. So we're gonna see what that is together. Apart from that, side quest wise, the woman who was presumably murdered by her boyfriend in Facade, and then we found her, and it turns out, oh, she's fine, everything's all right. I think. Yeah, it turns out she was a shade and had attacked Facade's gates. Which was pretty neat. There was also a few quests to return to some of the previous dungeons. None of them were especially different or exciting. Interesting all the same, but not to the point of like, oh, I need to show this off. It was just, oh, this an unsealed shade has been unleashed by some bandits who were trying to rob the graves. And it was the same kind of shade we fought plenty of before, so... oh well. Let's see. There was a side quest where we were to find a man with a golden necklace who skipped town, abandoning his wife for another woman. We tracked him down from village to village, found out, oh well, he's been seen a lot 5 years ago, but hasn't seen much since. He must be hiding out somewhere. Oh, investigate more. It's like, oh yes, him. Oh, we're madly in love. He would never just abandon me, for certain. Last time I saw him, he was headed to the junk heap. Okay, cool. Let's go to the junk heap. Like, oh yeah. Remember that guy you found with the Gideon brothers? Well, the two brothers' mother, who's going to run off with this man before they were both killed? Yeah. Turns out that was the man. So the only reason he stopped was because he ran afoul of robots in the junk heap. Not because of any, like, oh, it was the wrong thing to do, so I stopped. Or like, oh, I learned my lesson. I'll never cheat again. No, he died doing what he was doing. Which... it's all the more unfortunate. We also found a treasure map, followed it, it led to garbage. The blacksmith's wife was like, hey, take my pin and sell it and get money for it, and then exchange it for a treasure to bring back my husband so he'll finally stop doing these mad treasure hunts that are gonna get him killed. Please. I'm like, yeah, cool, we'll do that. And so we did. And he gave us a treasure map that led to a spear. A very nice spear, but not as strong as the Phoenix spear, so we're not going to be using it. Also, apparently, if I wanted to upgrade absolutely everything, I should have been gathering materials way long ago. Like the giant eagle egg, which can only be got in the Eyrie before it explodes. So, unfortunate, very unfortunate, but that's not something we can do right now. And if we can't upgrade because we're missing items that are in places that no longer exist, then there's not much sense in delaying longer to upgrade more weapons, since we can't 100% all of them. Which does remind me, I did upgrade some weapons, so we can see what all had an additional story. Okay, this one for sure. Smash, 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 smash. Sweat rolls down the faces of hard-scrabble men as they chip away at ironstone, their cheerful singing echoing through the mine. We are workers, workers in the mine, dirty from tip to toe. Again today we search for iron with all our might. Smash, 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 smash. Foom, 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 foom. The sound of women stomping on bellows in the mill. The sound of iron being gathered from the scorched sands. We are workers. Workers in the mill. Workers who send wind. Today we stomp the bellows again with all our might. Foom, 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 foom. Clang, 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 clang. The sound of swordsmiths wielding hammers at their forges. The ringing of such transformative blows is stunning indeed. We are swordsmiths. Swordsmiths who bring blades to life. Lords of steel. Clang, 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 clang. I I do know for sure in playthrough 2, I was told you can finish upgrading stuff then. Which would be marvelous, as that would mean we bring all the materials we have now into the next playthrough. So it should not be as difficult as this setup. Well, difficulty being we can't access some of these items. Anyway. I love him with all my heart, as he does me. When we cross paths outdoors, he sends signals with his eyes that only I can understand. He treasures my gifts so much, he keeps them locked away in a safe. Oh, I couldn't ask for a better lover. I can't believe this. My best friend deceived the love of my life and stole him from me. One moment he was there, and the next he was gone. All that remains are some of my gifts, which are scattered across his empty room. Everything else of value has been sold at the village marketplace. Oh, I could actually go gather more titanium for these. The Moonrise, that's the one that freezes things. Rebirth, did we read that one? Earthworm Claw definitely did not get read, as the fully upgraded version, all the stone has been chipped away. Don't know what it means just yet, but we'll find out. An elderly scholar sits in the dim reference room of a moldy museum. Before him lies a single box, which has long been sealed away. It is an article the museum's previous curator made abundantly clear should never be opened. It is said that the box contains a fossil that drinks the blood of humans. What foolishness! One would think we as a people would have outgrown such nonsense. Only someone who spends all their life surrounded by books could possibly believe such preposterous superstition. He opens the box, which splits forth a cloud of dust, and beholds a single stone of bizarre shape. Looking at the attached handle, one could easily conclude it was used in some manner of ceremony. However, it could also be viewed as a weapon. And what a fascinating shape! Yes, this will require rigorous research indeed. How foolish everyone was to be afraid of something like this! The scholar chuckles softly to himself as he reaches up and gouges out his left eye with the fossil's tip. Ah! Not sure what that would... Probably eldritch nonsense. The sisters were puppets of complex machinery. So fine was the construction that any who laid eyes upon them assumed they were human in every way. They were the embodiment of man's greatest technological achievements. They walked like humans, ate like humans, laughed like humans. The only thing they could not do, however, was shed tears, for they were not designed in that way. Because the sisters were machines, they felt nothing. Oh, they might mourn as humans did, but they experienced no true sadness, for they did not know what sadness was. Even when their friends perished in tragic accidents and the curator dies of disease, they felt nothing. To the sisters, all it meant was that those people no longer existed. Ooh, what a sad life. Beastbane. Long, long ago, in a faraway kingdom, there lived 3 brothers. The middle brother was a famous general who commanded a vast army. People everywhere were terrified of his troops, for they were most violent indeed. This general loved to make war. He enjoyed nothing more than watching cities burn and corpses pile up, and he fought not to subjugate, but simply to destroy all that he could. His well-trained soldiers laid waste to towns, cities, and even nations for the sake of their general. And as they hewed and hacked and chopped, the general would chuckle to himself in the most vulgar of tones. The army marched on and on. Nations by the sea, nations in the mountain, nations in the desert, nations in the tundra, nations to the east, nations to the west. The general cared not. He simply wished to watch it all burn. His orders were absolute, and for years beyond counting, the soldiers killed and 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 killed. Ah, hello, Diggs. Welcome. We're doing a little bit of recap on these upgraded weapons before diving into what I believe is the final part of playthrough number 1. But we've got to make sure we've got all our stories in order. The ones that we were able to get, at least. Labyrinth's Whisper. So that's all of those. The Kusanagi we didn't get to read. The shield left hanging on the wall was covered in dust. The blade left its scabbard had rusted over. The techniques I hadn't used were forgotten. The body I was to train was left to grow soft. I had lost the will to practice discipline. I thought things would end without a single word said. I pretended not to see violence inflicted by others. I had given up, assuming things would never change. I believed there was no way to oppose such a great power. I sneered at hearts that tried to believe anyway. There is a saying from a very influential story. I believe the saying goes along the lines of, apathy is death. The lack of will to change things, in turn, robs you of lack of will to do anything other than exist. And if you're just existing, well, as the saying goes, apathy is death. Must care, must feel something to influence the world. Ooh. All new stories. The girl stares at the sight before her. Her father lies nearby, carved to pieces by countless blades. Her mother also lies dying, as well as her newborn baby brother. All had suffered terribly in their final moments, and the girl can do nothing but cry as she stares at the 3 soldiers who have murdered her only family. Years later, the girl reappears, her visage made strong by her vow for revenge. The first soldier has grown so fat that the buttons on his uniform only barely contain his girth. The girl approaches him and claims to know an easy way to lose weight. On the pretext of an examination, she has him lie down on the bed before suddenly hacking off his arms and legs with an axe. The remaining lump of a soldier screams and attempts to wriggle away, but the girl pins him down and tells him he still has parts he can lose. Some time later, the girl sits in front of the now rounded torso and smiles. "There we are," she whispers. "Look how nice and slim you are." Ooh, grisly. The second soldier is a peerless... Lothario? Huh. That's a new word. The second soldier is a peerless Lothario. Each night, a new woman was invited to his manor to spend the night. The girl breaks into his home and kills the woman at his side, then uses her axe to hack off his manhood as he trembles and begs for mercy. The third soldier has long since left the service, and is now living a quiet life with his family in a remote village. After they have fallen asleep, the girl takes her axe and cleaves the support beams of the house, causing it to collapse. She then sets fire to the wreckage, creating a great bonfire that can be seen for miles in all directions. Suddenly, the soldier's son crawls from the wreckage, covered from head to toe in terrible burns. As his eyes fall on the girl who has murdered his family, she hands him her axe and flees into the dark of night, never to be seen again. Ha! We've read this one. Okay, this one has a new one. I rise, I raise at the cry of my birth, the sound of heated iron taking shape, a steel mallet striking my form. Born to deliver karmic justice, I enter the world under the careful watch of spark and flame that give light to the gloom. I am a blade, born of a deafening roar. I am a weapon. I am iron will. I grant death. I transform the dread and screams of my foes to elation. I festoon my iron skin with their viscera. When I rob them of life, I am filled with dark joy. When I crush them beneath me, I find meaning in my birth. And I continue to kill, that I might share this delight with all. I kill and kill and kill and kill. I am a weapon. I am iron will. I am shattered. At battle and blood's end, my body is torn asunder by malice and hate. Today I again engage the red dragon in battle, and magical forces meet leaping iron fangs to create a bloodstorm. My steel crushed, I sink into the slumbering black. I am a weapon. I am iron will. Given I was never able to get more memory alloy, I would love to upgrade this, but I just have not had the good luck of it. Which is unfortunate, but future playthrough to do that. Devil Queen. Ah, here we go. This story takes place in a small country at around the same latitude as the northernmost member of a nation of city-states that are part of a religion with a village that is attempting to establish a trade agreement with another village on a tiny island in the ocean south of a country that used to have an alliance with the Republic next to a kingdom where a queen resided. Oh, that's a lot of word soup. It was asked by the owner of a shop frequented by a wet nurse who looked as the child born of an adulterous relationship by the wife of the master of a foolish servant who fell in love with the beautiful queen who appears in the poems of a minstrel whom was loved by a country's king's wife, little brother, cousin's big brother, son-in-law's foster child. This is a bunch of nonsense. Okay, Beast Curse. Okay, yes, this is a new one. Long, long ago, in a faraway kingdom, there lived 3 brothers. The youngest was a terrifically lazy lad who spent most of his days fast asleep. However, he was every bit as cheerful as he was lethargic, and so was beloved by all. When the nation was beset upon by the most contagious disease, the youngest son did naught but laze around the palace, humming to himself all the while. But his cheerful music comforted the townspeople, so instead of hating him, they sang his praises. "Oh, what a fine young man," they would say. "Just the finest young man you will ever find." When the nation became embroiled in war, the youngest son did naught but laze about the palace, telling stories of the good old days all the while. But his fascinating stories helped the townspeople forget the horrors of war, so instead of hating him, they sang his praises. "Oh, what an amazing young man," they would say. "Just the most amazing young man you will ever find." One day, the youngest son was lazing about the palace as usual, when he realized he could no longer hear the voices of the townspeople, and he wondered why that might be. He lazed and he wondered. He lazed and he wondered. He lazed and he wondered. Eventually, all that wondering tired him out, and he went to sleep. That is why, in the nation where all have perished from war and disease, the only sound that can be heard is the soft snoring of a young man. It is a nation of happiness, a nation of happiness, a nation of happiness, a nation of happiness, a nation of happiness. Huh. Oh, this is the new sword, the new spear we got from that treasure map. Forged from metal and liquefied beast claws, the destructive spear is filled with a deep hatred of the world. I believe we're missing a labyrinth weapon for two-handed swords. Yeah. So that probably would have been from a side quest that I missed out on getting in the first place, which meant we couldn't pick it up for adult NieR. But that's fine, we'll fix that in the future. She was a hopelessly slow woman, impossibly clumsy. It would take her 3 times longer than anyone to accomplish a task. She walked slowly, talked slowly, and even blinked slowly. So slow was the woman that she could not even draw water to anyone's satisfaction. The children began calling her the cow and laughing when she passed by, but she would only chuckle in response. She was a hopelessly dull woman. When she fell and drew blood, she would carry on as though in a daze. Though coins often dropped from her purse, she never managed to retrieve one. And if someone spoke ill of her to her face, it would take hours for her to realize the insult. When the children saw her, they would hurl rocks with glee. Kind of a sad story here. She was a hopelessly foolish woman. One summer, when the village was suffering a most terrible drought, the woman vanished. The children all starved to death. The villagers spent no time worrying about the woman who ran away. 2 days later, rain fell and the village was saved, but the woman did not return. And on the 20th day, a shaman arrived in the village. The shaman held a spear with a pair of horns that was oiled and sticky to the touch. So heavy was the spear that none could wield it effectively, though even if they managed to lift it, the weapon was incapable of piercing through anything at all. The shaman forced it on the people and left it with them, but none dared approach it, and to this day it quietly slumbers in the forgotten corner of the village. Huh. Is this the same? No, it's not the same woman from... No. Okay, definitely not the same. All in all, not too sure what's up with all that, but for now.
Well, did you find my stone?
Right. To summarize, this woman who wants to become a fortune teller had ordered a special stone, one that would allow her to more accurately read people's futures and fortunes. It never arrived, so we were sent to investigate. We asked Popola anything about these things, and she said, oh, well, last she heard, there was one on top of the shrine ruins. So, for the 4th or 5th time, I had to go back there, because there were a few side quests who involved the rooftops of the shrine. But we found the stone, and we're bringing it back now.
This work for you?
That's it. Oh, thank you. Oh, and while you're here, how about a free reading? Come on, it's the least I can do.
Listen to your fortune.
Sure, might as well.
Let's see what the eye has to reveal.
Where are we? I don't know. I've never seen this place before.
And that's when
Shit.
I reloaded.
In our dreams? What cheek.
Dreams?
I refuse to believe that we were simply whisked off to some alien land.
Yeah, I suppose.
Also, the vile axe is ridiculously strong, as I came to find out. Physical defense plus 4. There we go. Oh boy. But, for longtime watchers of this series in particular, should recognize this just the start of the game. Let's see. There we go. So we haven't yet gotten an answer as to why we started off here. And then woke up as child NieR. As far as we are aware, we are currently living in a future so far ahead that we've lost all records of what would be modern times. So I don't think this is a situation of time travel exactly. But maybe we're seeing someone else's mind. Nope. Because I don't believe... Ah.
What was that?
I cannot say. But I doubt it was a mere daydream if all of us experienced it as one.
I think I've seen that before.
Wow. I don't know what happened, but you guys look pretty shaken up.
Yeah.
There's a deep inner meaning behind this fortune, but I'm not really sure what it is. I guess I need more practice. Anyway, thanks again for the help. Stop by anytime.
I think I'll pass for now.
What was that all about?
Nice.
I don't know. It gave me some serious deja vu.
Did it now?
Yeah, like I'd been there before or something. But at the same time, it felt like something was pushing down on my chest.
Well, it was just a dream. Best to put it out of your mind.
Because that's why we started the game in the first place. Before we woke up as, I believe, child NieR? But I don't think the NieR in the that memory was a child. Ordinarily, I would say it's like we're peeking into the future of things, but that era has long since passed, so I'm not too sure what that has to do with stuff. But with that, all that's left is to head back to the shrine. As far as I am aware, all the side quests, except for the one that takes way more time than I want to invest in trying to do it. Yeah, everything else that we are able to get done, I believe, is done. Aside from some minor weapon upgrades, but like we can easily do that in the second playthrough.
Oh there. Get.
So let's head on over to the Lost Shrine and see what on earth is it they've got going on up here. Because we may not get all the answers here. It's to see, because of the way Automata plays out, I don't think we're going to get all the answers. We're definitely going to get some. And whatever answers are going to be will clear up a good chunk of things. But not everything. But that's fine. That's why playthroughs like 2 and 3, maybe even 4, will remix things enough to get all the information that we would need. me know why I'm stopping to fight these things. We don't need to kill these things. We're not in any need of items or experience. Unless they knock me off the ladder, in which case we'll need to kill them so they stop doing that. But if they don't, then I'm going to ignore them. Because we're on a mission to finally defeat the Shadow Lord, get our sister back, and everything will be great. Forever and always. Forever and always. It's never that simple, though. It's never that simple. There's no fast way up. Let's see. I think we've got 2 hallways to go. There we go. Ignore the gremlins and the goblins and the orcs and whatever they happen to be. You, though, you might be worth taking out. He was. Fantastic. And can I? Nope. Okay. Thought maybe they'll, let you speed through it, but no, that's fine. There we go. Oh, we're gonna get so many answers! We're gonna know! So many plot hooks. So many... Okay. There's still a lot of things we don't know. We don't know what's up with Kaine and her situation. We've learned a bunch of Emil stuff, but I don't think there's much left in his things. Unless that's the twist and there's still something more. Hard to say. We'll find out. There we go. Double doors. Nope. Is this the end? No, one more. 3 sets of holes, not 2. Oh, no, it is 2. I think from here we're in the clear. Straight on in. Nope, nope. Not quite. Nope, okay. We gotta go around. Is there a way? Could have sworn I found... Oh, yes, I think this is it. There was definitely a faster way than pushing the blocks, which I believe is this. There we go. Let's make a quick save just in case. And then we hit the end game. Cannot return. You cannot turn back from this point. Continue.
And now
Yes.
the path is open.
What's gonna happen? Ooh, I'm so excited. Oh. Huh. Huh. Ancient greenhouse or atrium? A garden. Okay, no crossing over. No items.
To whom does the true voice speak? To whom does the true form show itself? You must answer.
It can talk!
I ask, why did humans disappear from the world?
Excuse me?
The hell is this?
I believe this is some manner of password.
Password?
Yes. The correct answer should grant us access to the castle. I feel confident I have heard this somewhere before.
Oh. Phoenix Sword. Okay, so even if you did upgrade everything, you couldn't finish the game 100% weapon upgrades. Because we just got the Phoenix Sword. Which looks pretty nice. A large sword used by temple guardsmen, and supposedly made from the feathers of legendary Firebird. Oh, that's really good. That's really strong. This is a story of a time long, long ago. There was once a beautiful bird with resplendent feathers that lived a quiet life deep in the forest. Did I miss something then? Ah! Somehow didn't notice there were doors here. Oh. Ah. So that's the name of the game. You're nothing, you're not something. Is there something here I'm supposed to be looking at? Oh, okay. No stepping in the flowers. Understandable. iPad.
To whom does the true voice speak? To whom does the true form show itself? I ask, why did humans disappear from the world? You must answer.
did humans disappear from the world? Why did? Why did or why do? A black disease. Okay. Is that indicating the Black Scrawl, which does move like a disease? Because we never got a full answer to that either. People under attack by shades can become shades themselves, whether that's through possession or infection. But not all humans disappear from the world because of it. By and large, humans disappear from the world because our lives are so short.
I answer, because their lives are short.
Wrong answer, okay. So the shades are to blame. Unless the shades...
Blast. I appear to have made an error.
Considering this is the Shadow Lord's castle, why would the Shadow Lord blame the shades he himself commands for the disappearance of humanity? Unless this is much more of a your kind is dying out because of us. And know this kind of moment.
To whom does the true voice speak? To whom I ask, why did humans disappear from the world?
Why did humans disappear from the world?
You must add.
They disappear from the world because of a black disease. But that's not self-congratulatory. So why would the Shadow Lord pick that? Assuming they want to be self-congratulatory. I might be ascribing too much vanity to the Shadow Lord.
I answer, because of a black disease.
I ask, how can humans extend their lives?
Ah. By acquiring leaves of a sacred tree, by separating body from soul. What does that mean? The only sacred tree I can think of is that Tree of Memories, which would... maybe acquiring a leaf from the sacred tree, or of the sacred tree, not from. So acquiring a leaf of the sacred tree could be imparting your memories to the tree so you can live forever. As a memory, but it would be just as much you. By separating body from soul. How can humans extend their lives despite the black disease? Separating body from soul. What would that even mean? Who do we know this could be talking about? The only person I know for sure has had a confirmed, remarkably extended lifespan is Emil, who's much older than he appears, but is that because they separated his body from his soul? Is that what they call it? Is that why there's only him and his sister? Okay, let's think about it further like this. The first question wasn't a general philosophy question. It was a point-blank, humanity is disappearing, or humanity disappeared because of the Black Disease. But we're still here, so what does that mean? So philosophical immortality, or maybe Emil's literal immortality. If that's what it's even talking about. If it's the Shadow Lord and he wants us to be informed of these things. Huh. Wait. Because there was another theory I had that because the Shades are intelligent once they get big enough or strong enough, they're not just mindless creatures. They're not just like little ghosts and goblins. By taking on human form, they're able to persist. With enough power, they can even persist through sunlight. But that's Shades, that's not humanity. Okay, I'm gonna bet that it's talking about Emil.
I answer by separating body from soul.
I ask, what is the destination of souls?
Okay, so humanity disappeared because of a black disease. To extend their life, you separate the body and soul. What's the destination of souls? Huh. What? Because if I continue that train of thought with Emil's immortality being through the experiments they separated a body from soul, and that's why Emil's immortal, he only became a complete entity when combining with his sister, which is what we see now with the little floating skeleton boy. Which I would consider to be a corresponding shell if that's the way it was intended to be.
I answer, they are placed in their corresponding shells.
Very well.
Huh!
You are acknowledged as master. You may enter.
Well then, it seems the way is open.
What the hell does that say about Emil then? Huh. So to escape the black disease, you separate body from soul. To extend your life, you put it inside a corresponding shell. Wait, could that... No. That can't be Emil because that... He was immortal before he combined with his sister. Ah. Wait. Why did humanity disappear? Humanity is already gone. Whatever we are isn't humanity. These are the things are all ancient ruins from the civilization so far gone it's been forgotten. So if it happened back then, it could also just be that most of humanity was wiped out, and all that was left kind of recoalesced from the different far-flung areas, and then repopulated to the small numbers that they are right now. If shades are the disease and they can possess human bodies, are they the ones who are the soul without the shell? Because if humanity was wiped out by this black disease, and the only way to continue forward as a species was to remove the soul from the body, and then place it into a corresponding shell, the humans left over are the shells. So for the shades, which we know for a fact have a culture and they have brains, they are a people. So are they really just trying to possess human bodies to become human again? Well, let's find out. Huh?
It's the twins from your village.
Popla, Devila, what are you doing here?
Hey, any chance you'll just go back to the village? This is a very dangerous place. Even if you can find Yona here, you probably can't get her out.
How did you get here?
Yeah! We had to go through the magic friggin' seal thing. Granted, we probably could have just come up the top and climbed outside the...
Shh. We're asking the questions right now.
Not a fan of that. Well, I know what NieR would say.
We're here to rescue Yona.
No dice, huh? Well, I guess we don't have a choice then. No, I suppose not. How sad. We didn't want to fight you.
Oh!
We really didn't want to.
Why are you? Unless they're also shades.
Devila, what's happening?
Sorry, this fate was predetermined. Still, we spoke to truth. We really wanted to avoid this if possible. We were hoping to put it off for 100 years or so.
What?
Until the next generation came along.
What are you talking about?
Are they shades?
I don't think so. It's a lie. I don't believe it.
What the hell is going on?
We never thought you'd grow to be this powerful.
This is madness. Why do you block our path?
You have no cause to speak so with us, Grimoire Vice. You are a traitor.
Oh. What?
Oh, what now?
Uh-oh.
They copied my powers.
Oh.
Shit on a shingle. They can use the sealed verses.
Of course we can. The power came from us in the first place.
What?
You were simply loaned a small portion of it.
Vice! Are you alright?
Devila, Popla, why are you guys doing this? Why are you siding with the shades?
They are extremely powerful for not being shades.
Why?
The answer to every riddle lies within the heart of the Shadow Lord.
Shadow Lord. So you've been on his side this whole time?
You must search for that answer yourself. You've got to face your own truth now.
What does that mean?
Please, enter the Shadow Lord's castle.
Oh, okay, well.
Devila and Popola are fighting us.
Yes, they do seem to be putting us through a great deal of...
You okay, Vice?
How odd. For long years, my mind and tongue have been my greatest assets. But now the latter seems to be... Well,
Weiss?
do not look at me like that. I am Grimoire Weiss. I am perfectly...
Huh. Huh. That sounded remarkably like a faulty computer.
I think I hear a waltz.
Oh boy. I don't know what causes this sudden frame drop. It happens even while not streaming, so I don't know what the cause is. At any rate, that is a question I had not anticipated. I assumed magic would just be magic, but what if it's not? What if the magic isn't magic? We know from Emil's mansion that the scientists underneath were more than capable of creating what appeared to be complete control over transformative magic and petrification magic. So what if it's not magic? What if the science is so advanced it appears to be magic because we don't understand what we're looking at? Okay. Dots are starting to connect. Starting to understand. Ghosts or holograms? I see. The veil has been lifted from my
It
eyes.
certainly is a grand affair.
Bunch of dancing bastards.
Oh,
They're all shades!
wait then.
I think we're locked in.
It's not like I was planning to leave.
Yeah, it's a bit late for that.
Huh. Wait, then. God, I haven't even had the time to digest what Devil and Popola said. They wanted to try and delay for the next generation another 100 years? What the hell does that mean? They didn't think we'd be this strong now? Why? Does any of that happen? Oh, damn it. Resistant? armor break. Oh, I should probably change the words on my weapons now. I don't need XP rate. Let's give it... MP cost down. Weapons. Item drop rate will replace with... HP drain. Paralyze, poison. Confuse poison. Oh. I guess the secondary word doesn't do much. XP rate. Drain HP, why not? Guard resist, physical resist. Good. You explode. There we are. I'm right. Weren't supposed to be this strong yet.
Damn it! They won't stop coming!
That place.
I'll open the next door. Cover me.
Oh, how I do love a good...
Vice!
Hmm? Oh, right. Protect the hussy, yes? Good plan. Let's go.
Protect Kaine for us.
Come on. Come on.
Kaine! Hurry!
It's not open yet?
Do I look like a goddamn locksmith to you?
Oh boy. Ah, metal piercing.
No, you idiot. What are you doing?
Lock doesn't want to open? Fine. I'll just break it down.
Stop, you impatient fool.
Goddamn no good bullshit bastard! Open the fuck up already! Got it.
Kaine, look out!
No. Ah!
Huh?
Oh.
Are they laughing? These things are freaking me out! Kaine! What's wrong?
We need to help Kaine.
Wait, where is she? Oh, there she is.
We need to help Kaine.
Yeah, I hear you.
You okay?
Yeah, but we got problems.
Ah. Are they going to fuse? Yeah, that seems about right. Oh. Huh. Rise and get it,
We
Dwarf.
don't need forgiveness, asshole.
Kaine?
Huh? What? we can well establish Kinda can talk to shades now.
Damn shade.
Oh dear.
Oh! Armored Piggy. Okay, so you are going to be much more than that can handle. So let's lance the pig. Pierce the defense. Crush the body.
Can we even hurt this thing?
Is that poison?
A bug! Oh no!
I can't stop now. Damn it.
No, it's not poison.
Stay focused, Kaine. Don't fall victim to such distractions.
Come on! We have to keep going!
What's going
Let's
on?
go.
Okay, I think I should probably run away.
This way. Move.
Okay, there we go. We got the door open. Ha! Okay. Press.
Up here!
Huh.
How can we deal with this thing?
Yeah, boy.
Please, hurry!
How about I just... Yeah, just shoot my way through. No need to dodge through anything, just... Oh boy. I thought that was the way out. Simple enough. Here we go.
Damn it, I can't get it open.
Attack incoming!
Tenacious pig. Whoop.
The entrance is locked too!
It seems we are in a bit of a predicament.
Oh boy. Slam. Come on, Mr. Pig. Just go to sleep. Go to sleep now. Okay, good. Not so good, I guess. Huh? What?
傘程度と血いるとって
I'm surprised this one gave you so much trouble. Unseal the exit. Let our friends through. The people of the mask owe you a great debt. And now it is time to repay it. Ha! Think it's time to loosen up a bit, huh?
doing here? サルリとシータ
My citizens were speaking, Castle the Saddle Lord, is it not?
You are correct.
Then we have a common enemy.
ふわりふわりとて
We'll hold this one off. Please keep moving.
But
あった
We are the people of the mask.
どんどん
We will stand our ground until our very last breath. I swore upon Kira's grave. I swore to become a good A just ruler. I didn't see what he said. It's open!
Hey! Stop! Let me go! Stop it! Damn it! King, no!
We'll meet again, you and I, once all of this is over. Until then. Oh,
No!
buddy.
Open the door! You can't fight that thing on your own!
It's alright. You have to keep going. Defeat the Shadow Lord and get your sister back. You must once again know the joy of having the one you love by your side. Now then. Say, how many rules are there about what? 88, my liege. Amazing. How do you remember all of these things? Do not despair, my liege. We are with you. I know. Let's try this again. For the honor of the king! For the honor of our queen!
Open the damn door!
Knock it off already. Let's go.
Kaine.
He's fighting for you. And for Fira. Don't let him die for nothing.
My friend.
Damn it. Damn it! There's no time to lose. They really want you to have all the healing items in the world. Come on. Come on. Ah. Oh. What is their deal?
Devila. Popola.
Oh, look. You made it. We've been waiting for so long.
Why are you doing this?
It began 1300 years ago.
Ah! We have a timeline now.
Humanity, finding itself on the brink of extinction, undertook a last-ditch rescue plan called Project Gestalt.
And there's the name of the previous version of the game.
Do you still not remember, Grimoire Weiss? Then let's give you a refresher.
Obtain Project Gestalt documents.
Vice! My mind. I remember. Devila. Popola. You are not human. In fact. Oh no.
Ah!
Yeah, sometimes the truth can be a real bitch. You want to finish that thought for him, sister? All of us, every person standing in this room, are mere shells created by the true humans.
Ah. So literal, not figurative.
What are you saying?
You still don't get it? You aren't human.
So then humans, I mean, the true humans, are extinct?
No. They still live on. You know them as shades.
Huh.
Each shade is a twisted remnant of what was once a human being.
I see.
Crazy, huh? Now let's skip the part where you stand there with your mouths agape and just get down to business.
No, give me a second. I need to process this. Okay. So every instance of human and shade interaction has been replicant and human. We are the replicants. They are the Gestalt. Holy crap. $1,300 is a long time. If humanity, the original humanity, has been shade this entire time, it's no wonder so many of them have gone so bestial and crazy, because they've lost their minds. I don't know what that has to do with them burning in the sun. Maybe they're unstable. I don't know. But with that, that's a lot of context now, making more sense.
Wait.
Well, we're gonna continue on though for now, because holy crap.
Sorry, but we're gonna be needing that shell of yours. The rightful owner has been waiting for a very long time. Please don't be angry with us. We are only doing our duty.
They're not humans and they're not shades. Didn't we just read a sword whose story was that there were two sister creations? Huh. Huh. That would... wait. Ah, crap. Maybe that's why the memories of the quote-unquote modern era were the way they were. We're the Shadow Lord's shell. That's why he took Yona. That's why he left us alive. That's why he tested us. But why were they going to delay it another 100 years? What does that mean?
Our endless existences have a single purpose: to control the lives of others in accordance with the will of the true humans. You have your own motives, your own desires. And we have ours. I fear it really is just that simple.
Don't speak such foolishness.
Sorry. You and us, we're the same. Tools in the hands of a master.
Oh,
No.
boy.
I'm nothing like you.
Devila? Devila? Popola, are you crying?
Okay, so not then.
Don't die! You know, Popola, I understand now why we're twins. It's because we were born without souls.
Devil, I can't stop the bleeding. Oh god, I can't stop it. This world is too lonely for one without a soul. There's too much emptiness. Our souls are missing. And yet somehow our tears still work. It's kind of weird. Sorry, sis. I love you. Devil! Devil! Don't you go! No, I can't be alone! Devil!
Damn.
Popola. Let's stop this now.
Stop? Stop? Now you want to stop?
Yeah? We didn't want to fight.
You think you have the luxury to stop? You cut down my sister like a goddamn animal and now you want to stop?
Oh, here we go.
Popola, wait! It doesn't have to. No one stops.
It's way too late to stop! No one stops!
Please, don't do this, Popola! You and Devila were like parents to me!
Those two have watched the world wither for time immemorial. The cruelness of such a fate is difficult to imagine.
So we're gonna say
I don't want to
sorry,
do this.
parent figure number
I
one.
don't want to fight her!
Stop bitching and start fighting. It's the only way.
Double splash damage.
Hey,
In fact, you know what? Let's whirlwind. Damn.
No stopping. No stopping ever.
Ah!
The bridge!
Blast! We're trapped.
I've got an idea.
Emil, you could have done that at any time. Ah!
I fear we're done for.
It'll be all right. You know, when I was young, I hated my eyes. And now that I'm older, I hate what my body has become. But there's something else there now. Something like pride, you know? I mean, without all this, I couldn't have become your friend.
No.
Goodbye, my friends.
Wait.
Thank you for everything.
What?
For so long, all I could do was destroy. But now, I have a chance to save something. No!
Ah.
Now get going,
Oh.
okay?
Emil.
Don't worry about me. I'm gonna be fine.
Oh, buddy.
Emil!
Damn.
Emil!
Emil, you jackass, get back here! Emil!
Damn.
Oh dear. Kaine's so unstable, and Vice can't stop arguing with people. I hope they can hold it together once I'm gone. Well, I guess they'll just have to learn. I want to see you again.
Oh.
I want to see all of you again. Just one more time. I'm scared. I don't want to die.
Oh, buddy. Ah! I see. Shit! God. Ah. Oh god. There really is no time to process things, just one to the next. Of course.
Let's go.
Everyone processes grief differently. God. Of course. And now we know these are humans. The original ones, at least. Which... Because it has to be said, at this point, even if they're supposed to be shells, each and every one of them has lived their own life. They've walked their own paths. Guided by Devil and Popula or not, they're still their own people, for good or ill. They are still individual, unique, even if cloned again and again, or recreated again and again over the 1300 years. It's impossible that they're all the same individual. Even if they were created to be a host, all that goes out the window when you give them their own identity. Because I don't believe it's a grand statement to say that personal autonomy as an individual should not be infringed upon, especially when it's erasing who you were to become someone else. Which, with that in mind, now makes sense of why Shades possessed people. If those are the souls trying to get their bodies back, they just go out and grab either their previous body, or recreation of their previous body, or just any body. But then there's a lot of Shades that just go around killing people. Either which way, because then that's also the infection that turns the body into a Shade. So what the hell is going on? This system is so broken, it's beyond repair. The only way to fix things is to naturally end the cycle. Devil and Popola are now gone. They're dead. Unless they've got copies somewhere, there's no one to guide the next generation. If they were in fact going to literally wipe everyone out, grow more clones, let them grow certain times, and then do it all over again. To be free, you have to break that cycle. No more shells being bred. 1300 years and they still haven't gotten it right. It's a flawed, doomed cycle that needs to be stopped. We'll put a stop to it. Things in Automata are now making more sense. This cannot continue.
Yona!
It does say a lot of how far NieR will go. If the original him.
Ends here. Strike hard. Hold nothing back.
If the original him would go through all this as Shadow Lord, it's no small wonder he would go through all this as a clone.
You hope to stand against the Shadow Lord.
Don't speak in such a manner, fool. I am nothing like you.
Oh boy.
Be careful!
I know!
Huh? There we go. You know what? Ah, I see. He's just like me. Oh my god. Oh boy.
Vice, you alright?
Naturally, I am as fit as a fit.
Oh boy. Oh, you know what? I should probably be shooting him as well. There we go. Ha.
Wait. Brother?
Yoda.
Ah.
Please, just stop. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't need someone else's body. I don't want it. There's another girl inside this body. I can hear her.
The other Yona's already in there.
She won't stop crying. She says she wants to see her brother.
Yoda's been possessed?
This girl loves her brother too, just as much as I do. It's not right, you know? It's not right that she can't see him. It's you, isn't it?
Yes, it's me. Let's go home.
Wait.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what to... I'm so very sorry. No matter what. Just know that... I love you.
Ah.
Hurry, the shade that possessed her is gone.
Kinda.
For everything
Watch
that
over
NieR
Yona
would do
for
for
me.
his sister, so would this.
You want me to understand your sadness? You think I'm gonna sympathize with you? I swore to protect my sister and my friends. If someone puts them in danger, they must stand aside or be cut down. Now come on! Let's finish
I'm
this!
sure he feels the same. Conscious choice aside,
Vice,
how are you gonna
What's
argue
wrong?
with your base essence?
You're freaking me out here, Vice.
What are you doing? Come so... The dead! Strike the killing blow! No bother. One moment, please.
you okay?
Fine, just fine. Alright, no, I'm not.
Vice,
It seems some headstrong idiot has decided to push me beyond my limits. I should have taken that job as a cookbook when I had the chance.
Vice, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Only joking. I hate cookbooks.
But
Let's go. Out of the way. I have one final task to fulfill.
where are you going?
Why, to stop him, of course. But after that, it's up to you. Only you can see this battle to its conclusion. I wish you luck, my friend.
You can't. I swore I'd always fight by your side.
You are an exceedingly stubborn lad. You know that, yes? Perhaps that's why I've so enjoyed our time together. But I fear this is where our journey ends.
Vice!
Oh, and remember what I told you about using my full name. Well, forget it. I've grown rather fond of Vice.
Vice. I knew you'd come around.
Don't let it go to your head now.
God. The final stretch really has been. Ah.
I have something to defend. I have a reason to live. Shut
Damn it. Damn it. Okay. This is a little rough. Just cut through. There we go. There is something to be said about two figures that have the heart and the strength to literally defy the world to protect something that they love, and have the two of them clash one last time. So what would you do to protect what you treasured most? That's the question.
Is Iona all right?
No, no.
Oh God, no.
Ah.
Oh, please, the girl is fine.
Weiss? Where are you? Are you okay?
I am as well as can be, considering I have lost my physical form. Doubtless my voice will be the next to go, so listen closely.
Oh, crap.
Your sister is safe.
Ah.
Do not mourn her, and do not give up hope. Instead, you must call her back to you.
How?
Use your memories. Recall the times you spent with her.
Oh no, I never finished her quest lines.
Present her with proof that the two of you live still, and that your lives have meaning.
I don't know.
Typical. But take heart. I know you can do it.
Oh no. I tried to grow the wheat, Yona. I
What's
did.
my favorite food? Cookies. What's my favorite book?
Oh.
That's my magic storybook. What's my favorite place? Home with you. What's my favorite flower? The lunar tear, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question. Who do I love more than anyone?
Oh, I actually have to type it.
That's not the right name.
Oh, wait. What? Why can't... Oh. Oh, I should have named him NieR. I didn't know.
Is that you?
Oh.
Yona.
Is this my body?
Yes, Yona. It's yours and yours alone.
You look bigger than before. Like you've grown up.
Well, yeah. I guess you haven't seen me for a while.
Have I been asleep this whole time?
Something like that.
It's almost like I'm a princess from some fairy tale.
Oh.
Oh, Yona. I'm so happy to have you back.
Me too.
Kaine.
You and your sister, you have a good life, Kay?
Oh, Kaine, don't be
Where
like
are you
that.
gonna go?
Guess I'll...
You could stay with us, you know.
Thanks, but I'll pass. You know how it is. I got my own shit to take care of.
What do you mean?
Personal shit, alright? Anyway, take it easy, yeah?
Kaine.
Hey, look.
Oh.
It's beautiful. For the longest time, I heard someone telling me how they wanted to see the light. And now, they can finally see it.
Hmm. Damn. Oh, that was beautiful. Ah, I love it. Oh. Oh, a flashback.
Thank you. I love it. It's so sunny today.
Yeah, it sure is.
Ha. We got so much happened so quickly. Oh. Hmm. Ah. I guess that is the end of the first playthrough then. Oh my god. I'm trying not to conflate what we learned of replicas and gestalts from Signalis, but I'm fairly sure we read something in the logs from Emil's mansion about gestalts and replica. I think. It's been a time though, so it's hard to say. What a lovely story. Definitely have a great fondness for a figure who would do anything in however many lifetimes it might take to protect what they love and to try and get someone back that they've lost. The Shadow Lord was our gestalt. Then into the introduction and even the the fortune being told. Returning back to that gas station. We had that dream as a replicant because it was a piece of who we were as a gestalt. One tied very closely to wanting to protect Yona. A driving force at the most core of his being. Through even not having the same memories, still having that same connection and bond. Through 1,300 years. Oh god, the way Devil and Popola made it sounded like they redo the cycle every now and again. Because they wanted to wait another 100 years before redoing this one. But we were too strong, so with them gone, now they can't redo the cycle. With the Shadow Lord gone as well, who's to say what the Shades will do now? Also, I'm not sure if this is safe to... Okay, no, we can't skip it even if we tried. Okay, good. Ha! This is by no means the end of NieR Replicant. Not only is there a playthrough 2 that will tell us more information, it'll also allow us to recontextualize every event leading up to the final clash. Every interaction we now can see. Because that means the lizard in the Eyrie was a person. Which spoke like it was Kaine's grandmother. So may actually literally have been her grandmother's gestalt. The shade inside the tree of memories, eating all those stored memories, may have been trying to give itself what it lost. The little girl in the shipwreck could have actually have just been a little girl. Oh my god. What was the wolf's problem then? Right, they were hunting down more wolves. Shades are not limited to human form. And apparently when possessing their appropriate replicant, or shell, that's when they become who they were supposed to be, and not some raving monster. Ah! Oh! Ending A. Ending B. Load your clear data after completing the game to experience Kaine's story. You can now read a departed mother's diary in your house. Wardrobe is added to the options menu. New outfits can be obtained by progressing through a departed mother's diary. Change music has been added to the game section. What on earth does that mean? Holy cow. Whoa, Kaine's story. We can now continue through here. Right? Is that what they meant? Oh boy, now I'm not sure. We'll find out though.
Whenever I interacted with Kaine, I was reminded about something from my past. Maybe my mind has been confusing her with my sister this whole time. Anyway...
Interesting place to pick up then. Kaine's dreams, discrimination. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Thin wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour and was now wandering slowly toward the wooden, hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with pale white skin, to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on. The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. "You! Kaine!" The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kaine struggled to stand, a final stone came skittering across the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from a cut above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by seeing Kaine's seeming indifference to the blood dripping down her face, but quickly regained his bravado. "What's up, freak? You like the rain? Like getting all wet? Or to finally decide to run away from home?" Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other children scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those were not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to this sensation. It was one she experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. "I didn't say you could leave, freak!" Demo's words chewed at her like a worm through an apple. "He can't hurt me," she lied to herself. "Be strong. Be brave. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt me. He can't hurt..." "Oh, look! The little freak is gonna cry! What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and what you did?" I hate this child. Kaine prayed for the rain to flow down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo crept ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. "Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off." Kaine couldn't meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meat on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. "Show me!" "No." "Did you just say no?" Demo grinned evilly. "You can't say no to me. No one said no to me." Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. "Come on, guys, let's give the freak what she deserves." As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Demo paused, still grinning, as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. "I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are." Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the weather vane. It continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no one to go home to. "Freak!" chanted the children. "Freak! Freak! Freak!" Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. This is really freaking sad. As As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified cries did she dare open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from places between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an almost uneasy shuffle away from Kaine. But the young girl was the least of their concerns. Instead, their attention was rapt on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. "Hurts like a bitch, don't it? Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rock. You can count on it." The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. "Ow!" he screamed, leaping up to his feet. "Stop it! What are you doing?" "Quit whining. Ain't no one ever died from a scratch." "You hit me with a rock, you stupid bitch! A big one! I think could have killed me." The old woman shrugged. "Death is the best cure for stupid." Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backwards and spat on the ground. "Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here, either of you!" Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. "Ha! Look at the fat boy go! Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight." The woman's smile faded as she turned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulders, then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. "Oh, Kaine," she said, "why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot." The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. "Don't be nice to me," she said. "I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore." Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. "Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead." As Kaine's tear turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. "Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt the crossing. You've got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand?" The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. "You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it." As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't even know of her grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and their first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and her grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood caking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen hard times, who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma?
Course not. Don't be an ass.
Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't...
Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you. And if folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell.
With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable, and the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh! These are lunar tears! Grandma, you made this for me. Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one. And yet her grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath as if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these?
Just stumbled on them while I was out doing the shopping.
The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track down the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath, admiring the way it felt between her fingers.
Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother, as she squinted at it. Those hands have trouble with delicate work, but it looks good on a pretty girl like you.
Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty?
Course you are. What a fool thing to say.
Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled.
We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine.
Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow was slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away by the breeze. Kaine Streams, Daily Life. Oh, I forgot this is what's going on while Kaine's petrified in the door. So I'm gonna take a little bit of water. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sounds of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, was far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung around a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration when the job was through.
Stupid piece of shit axe. Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. "Grandma!" called Kaine. "Is that you, Kaine?" yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. "Don't get too close or I might take your goddamn foot off by mistake." She brought the axe down on a piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she scuttled to a safe distance, she kept her hands around her mouth and shouted, "Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or a new axe or something." The axe, poised to strike another wobbly blow, paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. "Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards." Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far more difficult than the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the Eyrie. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and her granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but the two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old woman hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it! Crap! She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in a good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with the blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. "This is tough. My logs are all weird sizes." Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Sinking down her buckets with a small sigh, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. "Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice if you..." Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to her grandmother's side. "Grandma!" The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. "Get the bucket. Can't let it spill." Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. "Grandma? Grandma! What's happening?" Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. Stop that! Just stop! She cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all. Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the old woman's shaking hands and worn face told her more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed like the bill was finally coming due. The time when her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick and you need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to rise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. It's all right, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed like an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, god damn it. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across a dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk pace, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by a shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over again as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund, older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air and telling everyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. Hey, lady, said Kaine with a bravado she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this thing speak to me? They seemed to say. But Kaine saw that her eyes held a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kaine repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting a stone to come flying the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she had made her way to the apothecary. But the new emotion had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He'd clearly been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. He sputtered. What are you doing here, freak? God, that Demo voice. The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Ha! Barked Demo. That old bitch finally keel over? Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head. But before he could let fly a comeback, or worse, a punch, the apothecary told them to knock it off before he kicked them out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. An ocean of aromas assaulted her nose, creating a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall, behind the counter, rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. The beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like that picture? Kaine turned to find the apothecary, with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad, and they seemed to stare through her into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly, and looked down at Kaine and smiled, handing her the medicine. He reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village, and word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also don't think they matter much. I know your grandmother, Kali, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Kali? Thought Kaine suddenly. She was still mulling over this new fact in her mind as she reached out and gently took the crayons from the apothecary's hands. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, he said as Kaine scooted away yet again, and I owe her much. A lot of reading. I wager she would like it if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaine murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless. And with enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaine returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaine to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's hand clasped around her arm. Back already, are you? Asked her grandmother with a yawn. Come here, let me have a look at you. Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied with nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. Words. Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble? It was kind of fun, said Kaine with a small smile. No, seriously, it was. Fun, eh? Asked her grandmother in a voice which implied she believed anything but. Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand... Oh, that's Kaine. Uh-huh. So anytime you need me to run an errand, Just let me know. As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of their source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her portrait. A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone. But Grandma, it'll make you live forever. Horse shit, said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help with dinner. But Kaine would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of their house as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished the piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. Oh, wait, that's Kaine tucked. Damn it! Wait. Okay, yeah, that's Kaine. It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all. I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, you know, make drawing easy or something. The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. Let me be the judge of that, she said, ignoring the pain in her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It could also have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time, and slowly wheezed out a laugh. Oh, Kaine, she said between laughter. You truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But, hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always. True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. In the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, an action she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more and asked the grandmother to take the artwork down. Posh, said the old woman. I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud. She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, and that someday you can feel the same happiness. It was a moment that blurred itself in Kaine's memory. A perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of life like ghosts passing through a hall. But this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Kaine's dreams, separation. Oh god, is there no way to save my throat? Hang on. Water? Water? We are learning so much about Kaine. Kaine listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black object on her plate. She had been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. Grandma, I can't believe you want me to eat a bug. The old woman threw more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. It's no bug, you fool. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs? Yeah, well, it sure looks like a bug, says Kaine. And I think it's burnt or something, because it smells terrible. With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Oh yeah, that's terrible, all right. Why, you little brat, laughed the old woman. Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from the bullies. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown in fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. Meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kaine could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores that she used to take for granted. And so this morning found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling through her belly. Where are you going today? Asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Well, I was going to check on the kelma trees and see if they were ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? What in the hell for? Kaine stared at her grandmother, then held an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place sagged like a boxer in the final round. Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm going to build a stone wall so we have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. Goddamn, girl. If a bunch of thieves want to ransack this whole place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about some other... Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelma trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that. A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for the moment, she was a small child lost at a carnival. Yes, she said after a bit. Yes, of course, you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately, it seems like my mind is... She didn't finish the thought, instead walking over to her nightstand and gently taking the wreath of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and Kaine thought it was more beautiful now than the day she had first received it. You're gonna be a true woman soon, Grandma said, as she placed the flowers in the girl's hair. So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls, and more talk about how beautiful you've become. Annoyed, Kaine reached up to remove the garland, but the look on her grandmother's face stopped her hand. You're a beautiful thing, said the old woman, and there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you. Okay, Grandma, that's enough goddamn compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder. I'll teach you to sass me, girl, yelled Grandma. Suddenly, she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. Grandma, yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. Grandma, stop it! What the hell? The old woman stared at her and blinked, and slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if the first time she had ever seen them. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just... Kaine thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. Listen, she began. Maybe I should stay home after all. Oh, that was Kaine. Damn it. No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and wall and whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you. Kaine rolled her eyes and kissed the grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kaine could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around. Don't turn around, she told herself. But in the end, the temptation was too great. She spun her on her heel for one final look and saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut with a sad expression on her face. God, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kaine worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow. She only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the subject. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for the lack of focus, Kaine pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. No. Oh gods, no! Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma? Grandma! Kaine ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground, but she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark, not just fire. Can't be fire, too much smoke. Gotta save her. Gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt, her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet and achieved balance through the means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random, chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into a shimmering, inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. But then the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement, and the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. All right, you bastard, she thought, and her scream echoed off the high cliffs around him. It's you or me, let's go. The shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest, then it began looking from her to the house and back again, as if urging her to look at the destruction it had so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced towards the house. Through the smoke and the flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. Grandma! At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. She's alive, thought Kaine. Alive! Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up. Get up. Get up, get up, get up now! As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to move the claw from her stomach, but she might as well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them was surely broken. Ignoring the pain screaming through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. Grandma, hold on. Just a little longer. Her grandmother's face was turning blue. Her eyes rolled back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seeming to increase every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. Bastard, laughing at us. She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience emotion, but there could be no doubt that the shade was taking joy in their suffering. Yeah, I see your plan. The shade moved its claws slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this bastard. Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. It was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backward, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble towards the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. "Give her back!" she screamed. "Give her back to me!" It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again, then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she lay on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. Kaine. Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma? Kaine, you gotta run. You can't best this one. Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on. You have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and thumped to the ground below. Grandma. No! I said, run. God damn it. You have to live. You have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from the gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convinced that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers, but then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kane's mind, one after the other, faster and faster, until they became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kane screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept toward its prey. Kane's body slowly rose as if controlled by a mad puppeteer. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles, her head lolled dangerously to the side. Yet somehow, she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backwards, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment, laughing like a madwoman. She leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing into the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and the flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it now! As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer, and longer, and longer. Ah! Oh my god. Oh, my throat.
The beast approaches.
Oh, I know.
God, I forgot we were in this part. Oh my god. Oh. Oh boy. Okay, one moment. Oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Also, this is not the weapon I had.
This creature must have. How did it even survive these past 5 years?
I'm not gonna let this happen again. It dies today.
There we
My
go.
sword feels lighter.
It's not the blade, but the skill of the user. Strike it down.
There we go. There we go. Slam. Nope, wrong slam. There we go. Ha! Feels lighter indeed. Good old-fashioned multi-punch! Ha!
Oh, right, we didn't punch this one. We choked it. Hmm. Context. Kinase dreams. Encounter. Please let me save. It's been a very long time. Okay. Before starting this one up, I need to be right back in just a moment, as water is a thing I desperately need right now. So, one moment, I will BRB.
Ha, there we go. Apologies for the delay. But it's important to stay hydrated, especially when doing prolonged reading. Otherwise, well, you might just lose your voice, and that's no good for anyone. Unless you're some kind of sea witch. In which case, don't lose your own. Take someone else's. Anyways. Gently, weakly, softly, the shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off towards the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize that her left eye was gone. Oh! Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eyes to the ruins of her home and noticed a jagged stump of an arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Oh god, she lost an eye, twisted her foot around, and an arm. Huh. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Oh. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo, she thought at the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No. Stop. Don't want to live forever. I want to die right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper fluttered in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quickly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Stop. No! Don't hurt that picture! Kaine reached out with her remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture into the ground below, where they vanished in tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a mashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled and broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced his jig. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. Cha 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 cha. I look like that? Oh God. Oh God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something. Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me! Save me! Kaine suddenly resorted to shouting at the voice in her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. curse. A freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ears. Oh god, you are the best! Kaine glanced down and saw a black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm could no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and began moving up towards the rest of her body. Is this death? Is this what it looks like? Or is this what it's like? Or is my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feel the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, Sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die. So why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me, give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. Then it resumed. It was filled with mad, unabated joy. I want to take your hands and you let choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out their throats and bathe in the blood, just like before. In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaine was struck with the most powerful sensation she'd ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small whispered moan. Feels good, don't it? Asked the voice with a chuckle. What can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body, and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade. A black lump began to protrude from Kaine's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. I can see better, she thought. My eye must be growing back too. The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. Stop, she whispered, marveling at how she had regained her voice. Stop. The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. Now, what the hell, Sunshine? Screamed the voice. We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die. Grandma said, can't die yet. A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her mind. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die. Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern. The pattern of the shades burned itself into her left arm. Well, I'll be damned, said the voice cheerfully. Look at that, Sunshine! I think you and me are gonna be real good friends now. Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letters seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. Stop. Gotta stop. Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. Come on, don't fight it, pleaded the voice. It's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the anger. Burn with the fire of revenge. There's the blood that go out there and... Shut up. Shut up and get the hell out of my body. Your body. Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, Why don't you just give up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddies of yours in the area would love to see you dead. Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. Stupid idiot girl, you're possessed now, sunshine, and there ain't no going back. The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. Possessed? Whispered Kaine. Yeah, possessed. You and me, we got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now. Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen, purred the voice. I know this whole possession thing seems a little bit sudden, but it ain't all bad. There's plenty of it in it for you, too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make it happen. A little fat kid who kept picking on you? That big old shade that squashed your granny? We'll wrap them all up with their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain. Wait, said Kaine. You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade? What, you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want to drink from the well. Kaine considered this as he struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifted away by the wind. Drifting away by the wind. With the wind. Why can't I read that? Drifting away with the wind. And she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze felt on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. So, how about it? You and me? We can have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want. Fuck off, asshole, muttered Kaine. I'll handle the killing. Screamed the voice. Look at you go! Oh, sunshine! We're gonna have so much fun! So listen, my name's Tyran. If you ever need me, I'll be hanging out in this piece of meat you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. Yeah, she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shade. I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyran. Count on it. Yeah! Laughed Tyran. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body. But if you ever run out of hate, if ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing, sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. It feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her had already won. I am not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her mind, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the center. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wreath of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Connie started to place it in her hair, and slowly lowered the wreath and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding flowers to her heart, Kane fell to the ground and sobbed. As night gradually lightened to dawn, and the people of the area arose to their daily lives, she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world. Holy crap!
Stay alive! Stay alive!
Grandma.
Kaine, you gotta live! You gotta come back to us!
No, Emil.
Oh, hey.
That's why the bandages. Oh.
Emil, you were the one calling me, weren't you?
You still recognize me?
Oh.
Of course. I knew you right away.
Thank you, Kaine.
Welcome back, Kaine.
Wow, you grew up. So, how long has it been?
5 years.
Oh my god, that makes Kaine and Emil's relationship so much more sweet.
Shit. That's a long time.
Because they're both transformed by powers they didn't want. Both twisted by... Oh, that's so good. Oh, I love that so much. Ah.
Any luck with Yona?
We are still no closer to finding her. We need a way to locate the Shadow Lord.
By the way, this is for you.
Is that a lunar tear?
It's not as good as your grandmother's, but I tried.
Oh.
No, it's great. Thank you.
Kaine waking from her long petrified sleep. Emil's unflagging kindness. Our reunion was a happy one, and we let it wash over us like rain. That is, until Devila and Popola had to go and ruin it all. Are you kidding me? You can't be serious!
Please, try to understand. People are tired and scared, and... I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to bear the brunt of that.
This is crap, and you know it!
It's okay. We can sleep outside.
No one's sleeping outside. You and Kaine saved this village, and now they want to run you out?
People are afraid of us. And really, I understand. I mean, look at me.
You're beautiful, Emil.
As long as you're still with us, I can deal with it. Right, Kaine?
Little buddy.
I'm used to sleeping outside.
But...
We'll see you later.
Sorry about this.
Oh. They're wearing... like, tabards. They're wearing white tabards over the black and red dresses. Well, not dresses, but blouse and pants. That explains a lot. If
they're guiding...
What is the matter?
Devla and Popla have been guiding the people of this village and beyond for a long time. Because we did get weird bits of history with people like, oh, the elderly, remember when Devla and Popla were helping them in their affairs. But Devla and Popla have been around this entire time. In 5 years, they didn't change one bit. And they're always the ones... They're the ones who knew about the sealed verses. They told us to go find them. They're the ones who've been giving Grimoire Weiss his power. A small piece of what makes them. Nah, onwards though.
Kaine always sleeps outside. I never thought about that until just now. Never even occurred to me. Damn it.
We should turn in.
Yes, please let me save. Please let me save!
I didn't get much sleep that night. For the first time in my life, I hated Devila. For the first time in my life, I doubted Popola. But those feelings are pointless in the end. They said and did what they did for the sake of the village. To protect it from the horror of the Shades. Really, how can I blame Devila and Popola? In the end, I'm just as bad. Because I never once stopped to think about Kaine and Emil's situation myself.
Freaking weird. I love these games. You get a little bit of context for something and suddenly so much more opens up.
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil. But what good would that even do?
I got a fire going, Kaine.
Wait, is that...
Campfires are weird, aren't they?
What?
I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on, I just want to know you better. Please?
Now knowing an arm and a leg aren't hers, that's why she covers them up like that. Because maintaining a sense of self is important. What makes you you, what doesn't? If she ever feels normal in her own skin, Tyran's already won. So why not constantly remind yourself that it's not normal? Bind it in scratchy cloth. Bind it with many belts that hurt to move in. A constant reminder that it's not you. And that what is yours is all the more free.
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid, before the whole shade possession thing. My body is different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was. No matter how bad things got, she gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together.
No.
Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay, can we just forget I told you about that?
Aw. Ah. Can I save now, please? Please.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well. What might that be?
It's Mom's diary.
I've not heard you speak much about your mother.
Oh.
She got the Black Scrawl and died when I was little.
My apologies for bringing it up.
It's all right. I can barely remember her face anymore.
Oh.
This is the only thing I have left of her. Reading it helps remind me of when we were still a family.
I see.
But the final entries get a little strange.
Oh.
In what way?
Well, here. Take a look.
Should I have tried to save before that happened? Okay, good. It's saving. Oh. Did I just trigger what was supposed to be happening?
Say there. Can you not hear me?
What? What?
Why are you standing about like a slack-jawed ninny?
Sorry. Felt like I was dreaming or something.
Oh, sleeping on one's feet is quite the talent indeed. Come now, there's the door.
Right. Let's go.
Oh my god! No! Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! I didn't think for an instant. I don't even know if I should explain what that is, because No, I need to go back. I need to go back. Oh god, because I know they added some certain things, especially for this version of Replicant. And that's the only explanation I can think of.
Something wrong?
I feel as if I've just awoken from a most unpleasant dream.
I know what you mean. That happens to me whenever I read it.
Okay. I need to step outside and... Is the save box usable? Okay. I need to... Oh my god, so many things just happened. We're going to call it for now, for right here.
Uh, Mostly because that was a lot of reading, and I made some poor choices with what some voices was going to be, and I'm paying for it now. But oh my god, I knew we'd get answers. I didn't know what they would be, but I knew we would be informed. Because that's how these games work. That's how Yoko Taro and the crew designed these games to play out. You play through the first time, you have a good deal of information to process, and then something happens when the game ends to recontextualize events or characters. And it's really hard to tell who's going to be what in the end because you don't know you don't know until you find out. Because that's how stories work. You don't know until you're told. Oh my god. Oh, this is freaking beautiful. I love it. But for now, for now, that will be it for today. A tiny bit shorter than we usually go, but my throat is killing me. So once again, thank you for joining me here today. This has been an amazing step into what is going to be even more NieR, as while we have completed the first playthrough, we're not yet done with this game. Not by a long shot, as there is still so much more. But I'll be for the future. If you like what I do, please consider giving a follow here on Twitch. If you want to be kept up to date with the who, when, and where, follow me on Twitter, also at Levetome. To see these VODs in the far-flung future, we have a VOD archive, not VARD, a VOD archive on YouTube. But just type in Levetome VOD archive and you'll find it. Let's see, what else? No, that's about it. If you want to help, if you want to consider helping out the show, make things run a little smoother, consider dropping by to the Ko-fi. We're currently having a goal right now of replacing this mouse that, well, I'm using controller for this game. The mouse has been on its last legs, and it's one piece of many, but it's a little thing. It's just, times are tough. I understand. I do not expect anyone to give if they cannot. Take care of yourself first and foremost. Self-care is important. And survival is priority number one. So make sure you do that. Stay alive. You've got people to prove wrong. And the general niceties that is this great, grand, wonderful universe of ours. And the fights left to fight. The enjoyments left to enjoy. The stories yet untold. And tales of the bold. I think that's an Iron Savior lyric somewhere in there. It's not important. But once again, thank you for joining us here today. And until next time, be kind to yourselves and others, take no shit, and I hope to see you again. Farewell and take care.